weekend that determines who goes to the Super Bowl. It might be the best weekend of the year as far as good football goes. I'm Kevin Clark with Jonathan Clegg. John, big games this weekend. Let's start with the Niners and the Falcons in the NFC. Kind of an intriguing matchup. You don't really know. Well, it could go either way. Your thoughts?
The difficult thing with the Falcons is that you never really know what you're going to get from one half to the next. You look at Sunday's game, they were so dominant in the first half against the Seahawks, they disappeared in the second half. Seattle could do basically whatever they wanted on offense. And I think that bearing with that in mind, I think that the 49ers are going to take this one, and I don't think it's going to be close. The way that the Falcons capitulated in the second half against Russell Wilson, who's a mobile quarterback, strong arm, those are exactly the traits that make Colin Kaepernick such a terrifying prospect for NFL teams right now. You saw how he torched the Green Bay Packers last weekend. I think against the Falcons, who struggle against mobile quarterbacks on that fast Georgia Dome turf, I think Kaepernick is going to run wild. I think this game is over by halftime.
My thought, I agree with you on one point. I think Kaepernick's going to be able to destroy the Falcons defense because the Falcons have some terrible linebackers.
Right.
Nicholas, Dent, Witherspoon, not a great linebacking core. So Kaepernick's going to be able to take advantage of that and sort of weave in and out. But on the offensive side for the Falcons, I like them a lot more. I like the big receivers of Julio Jones going against kind of a suspect secondary for the 49ers. Guys like Carlos Rogers, not exactly elite. You have to have a lot of freaks to match up. And the problem is the 49ers freaks are guys who are defensive ends, defensive tackles, linebackers, stuff like that. They don't have that safety or that cornerback able to match up with a Roddy White or Julio Jones. And they score enough points, I think it's a shootout. But I like the Falcons in this one.
Right.
On the other side of the bracket, we have Patriots and Ravens. Obviously, a rematch of last year's unbelievable game that ended with the Ravens being 3 points short. What happens this time?
Patriots. I think this game will be much closer. We've seen that the Ravens have this knack of hanging around in games. It's impossible to drive a stake in their heart and kill this monster. You saw how they fell behind so many times against Denver last weekend, but they never let the game get out of sight. And I think that'll be the case here. I think however much the Patriots have looked great, and they have, I think the Ravens will stick around, but I think the Patriots will probably prove just a little bit too much in the fourth quarter. I think one of the big things to watch for is how Ray Lewis responds. Obviously played a double overtime game in Denver, now playing against the Patriots, where he's going to have to move laterally a lot, covering a lot of those crossing routes the Patriots run so well. Bearing in mind that he hasn't played for 6 or 7 weeks, I think stamina could be an issue. I think the Ravens will probably fall away late in the fourth quarter. I'd take the Patriots by 7 points, 10 points, something like that.
I think that the one team in the NFL that is not capable of having the air let out of their sails or whatever you want to call it is the Patriots. I think they can withstand anything. I think if they go up if the Ravens go up 2 touchdowns, I think the Patriots are going to be able to withstand it. But I guess we'll see on Sunday. That's it. Enjoy the weekend's games.